Hi, and welcome to another Wednesday night brand night. We are in for a treat tonight, but first, let me tell you about what this is all about. Nikken we sponsor a weekly kind of a deep dive into a product line or a particular product every week to go over Nikken's amazing wellness home energy-based, nature-inspired technologies. And tonight we have a fabulous speaker who's an expert in nutrition, who's going to be presenting a brand new product which is just now available for distribution. And I'm going to let her introduce it. But let me just introduce you to Randy. Randy Rolfe is a veteran speaker on nutrition, on parenting, and natural health. For 40 years, she's been doing research and presenting and building her expertise after a full career as a lawyer. And her passion is about creating healthy, happy families all around the world. She's an author to 9 acclaimed books, most recently, The Single Ingredient Diet: Transform Your Relationship with Food in Just 21 Days. She has appeared in over 50 TV network talk shows, so you can see she's a tremendous expert in the field of nutrition. Randy is a Nikken independent leader, and she is her tagline, if you will, is that Nikken is a one stop shop for health, wellness, and balance as nature intended. So, Randy, I'm delighted for you to share your wisdom, pour into us about this brand new, groundbreaking technology product.
Well, thank you so much, Sherry. I'm really excited about this product because it comes from that Asian concept that the digestion is so important, and Nikken has uses that in all of their nutrition. So I love their question. How do you connect to nutrition? Well, we do to nature. I'm sorry. We do it through Kenzen Nutrition, one way, and a lot of other ways too. This is just one of five different lines of products that we have: air, water, sleep, nutrition, and the natural energies. And please explore them all. But we're going to talk about nutrition today. And we have a big food problem. The modern American diet is in trouble. 60% of children don't eat enough fruit, 93% of children don't eat enough vegetables. We know that it's 67% of children of their diets are ultra processed foods, and 58% of adults even. And so only 1 in 10 American adults gets enough fruits and vegetables in their diet, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So that's the American story. And we have the similar story in Canada. To meet daily recommendations in 2015, about a third of Canadians aged 12 and older were consuming enough fruits and vegetables, 5 or more a day. But by 2023, only a fifth of them were getting enough fruits and vegetables. So all of North America, Mexico included, is having problems. So what's the concern? Well, we know that it's a huge body burden when we're not getting the nutrition we need. A diet rich in whole foods nutrition is important for preventing chronic diseases. And so we need to supplement when we have any kind of disease or dysfunction or imbalance in our bodies. And I love this quote from Hippocrates 2,500 years ago in ancient Athens, Greece: all disease begins in the gut. And he's considered the father of modern medicine because he said, let's not do incantations and mumbo jumbo. Let's observe what makes people healthy. And he said it's what they're eating. And so he wrote a lot about really observing what got people healthy and what made them sick. And he thought diet was major. So he was the beginning of nutrition as well as modern medicine. So how do you tell if you have a problem if you, with your digestion? And I have to say this isn't just for people with problems, but so many people do have tummy ache or know they have indigestion if they eat something a little different, or they have headaches or just sore all over. They know their food isn't really doing right by them, and it's so often it's the gut. And our amazing digestive system, it's only conscious, it's only supposed to be conscious until we swallow, but it transforms everything from our food into what our bodies need, the proteins, the vitamins, the enzymes, all of those are prepared for the body in the gut. And so think of all the organs. The stomach produces the enzymes, and then the pancreas produces insulin and lots of other enzymes. And in the long part of the small intestine, that's where all of it gets broken down more and more. It actually starts when you chew, but then the rest of the work's done down later on. And then in the colon, there's this huge population we're just really getting to know, the microbiome, which transforms the broken down foods into things that the body can use. In it even neurotransmitters and hormones, as well as vitamins and minerals and enzymes, are built in the large intestine. They found now that 90% of serotonin, which is part of the good hormones that make us feel well
Hmm.
and sleep well, are actually produced in the gut. So it's incredibly beautiful what the
Wow.
digestive system does for us. And in the large intestine, what happens is there's the prebiotics, which is soluble fiber and all the other things that have been worked on by the enzymes coming down. And then we have the probiotics, which are the microbes. And there's an innumerable different strains, but they're mainly microbes and some ancient microbes and some yeasts and even fungi and sometimes unwanted things that get in there. And then they were just starting to talk about the postbiotics, which are the products that are coming from the microbes. And more we're realizing how important those are, and some special proteins in particular that are produced by the healthy microbes. So what can go wrong? Well, what you really need is a diversity of microbes. You want a strong gut lining, and you want low permeability so that the lining only lets out the things that have been properly metabolized to get into the blood. Then it goes into the blood and then to the liver and all over the body. So you want just the right things getting in. You don't want things that shouldn't go through. And that permeability is how much goes through and doesn't go through. So you can get, if you get breaks in the lining, then things you don't want to get into the blood get in, and then you get inflammation. So that's not good. But the lining actually has three layers of the strong lining, and then the mucosa, and then where the microbes live. So you want all of those to get healthy support from your diet. So what causes when the diet's not working as well, the gut's not working as well? Well, stress is a big problem. You can actually change the population of microbes overnight if you really eat the wrong thing, because they grow so fast. They're tiny, tiny things. They're smaller than our cells, and will they'll change their population. They'll reproduce or die overnight. It's amazing. So stress affects it. Antibiotics actually just can kill some of the microbes. Poor diet. If you're feeding a lot of sugar to your gut, you're encouraging yeast growth and some of uh, the microbes that don't need oxygen at all, and they can be or the ones that do need oxygen. I get them mixed up sometimes. And immobility. If you're sick, sedentary all the time, one of the things that keeps the intestines and the food moving along is the movement of your muscles.
Hmm.
So you want to be walking and bending and stretching and doing all the good stuff that gets your muscles moving. And then infection, of course, can change the whole microbe uh, biome in your gut. Um, so the you hear a lot about bloating and gas and headache and heartburn and diarrhea, constipation, fatigue, weight gain, even skin problems can come from the gut being out of balance. So you want to do whatever you can to get the gut in balance. And I need to say that you can't fix it just with supplements. Your diet needs to be good. So do your research on that. But Nikken can give you supplements that just support anything good that you're doing. So this is the new product, Golden Gut Formula, and it's golden because it's based on kiwi. It's delicious. It's got a nice fizz to it that helps it get down to the gut quicker. And it basically replenishes the intestinal lining and the shield of the mucosa. It also helps reduce the permeability and it rebalances the microbes. There are a couple of different things in there I'll mention in a moment that help rebalance the microbiota. So the ingredients are the prebiotics, the important soluble fibers, and in nutrition they kind of ignored fibers. They thought, oh, let's just give everybody the 40 nutrients and everything will be fine. But it's not true because we are dependent on our symbiotic relationship with our microbiomes. And so we do need to eat that fiber that they rely on to structure themselves and also to keep your poop being nice. And also because of the soluble fibers, they turn those things into all kinds of good things like butyrate and other wonderful stuff that actually affects the brain and the blood and everything else. So then the probiotics we have are um, very deliberately supported by the kiwi fermented fruit powder that's included. And so that's the soluble fiber to help the probiotics. And then we have the Luminosi lactobacillus fermentum, we also call it TCI, which actually is a strain that specifically makes a protein that's very good for modulation of the muscles so that the body makes the right choices between whether to burn fat or burn glucose. And the brain is dependent on glucose, so you want the liver to pull fat out of storage so that the brain always has the glucose it needs so you can make smart diet decisions. That's one of the best things you can do with your diet, with your brain, I mean. And then we have turmeric, which has been known for centuries to be anti-inflammatory, so that helps the gut stay healthy. And we also have monk fruit, which is a natural sweetener with no caloric base. So that's very nice to make it highly drinkable. It's
Hmm.
quite delicious. So we benefit muscle performance, gut functional, in the gut's in functional integrity, and weight management because it like I said, it helps the body pull fat out of storage through this particular protein that the TCI creates. And the things it doesn't have in are just as important as the things it does. There's no genetic modified particles in there. There's no soy, which can really mess up hormones if it's not properly processed traditionally, and no gluten. So a lot of people have sensitive gut to gluten. So there's no gluten, no artificial colors and flavors, which also can seriously impact the microbes, and no preservatives that they're toxic to microbes. And then grass means that the FDA, it's generally recognized as safe, everything in it. Um, in the industry, and it's in individual packets, which make it really easy. You just empty the packet into a glass of good water and drink it. It's delightful. And look for all these certifications too. They're really important. The AS just means it's available for monthly shipping, so at a 10% discount. And it's organically sourced whenever possible, and so on. So all those certificates mean a lot as well. So you want to trust your body and feel good and build your gut health. Benefits muscles, weight control, and intestinal function. It's really neat. And we a few of us have started using it and as a beta tester, and we're getting great results, whether it's skin or just normalizing elimination or just feeling better after a meal. And some people are reporting that the little picture shows the waist getting a little smaller, the jeans getting a little looser. That's always nice. And this is a wonderful diagram of all the nutritional supplements that Nikken offers. And of course, our new gut health entry is in the gastrointestinal system, but they all work together. And like I said, it's core to Nikken's nutritional approach to use whole foods and food sources whenever possible to minimize any kind of extra additives and no sugars and no seed oils and really building the gut. So our Kenzen Vital Balance also builds the gut and keeps it normalized and balanced. The jade green zymes, people have found that as a wonderful input for the gut because it's got all that nice soluble fiber as well as chlorophyll, which is very cleansing to the gut and the blood. And then we also have lactoferrin, which is what's in mammalian milk to help a baby build a healthy microbiome. So you can see everything is designed to work with the body, not to manipulate it or change things, but to help it do the best it can. So I love that about Nikken. So we invite you to be part of our global wellness community and look at all our wonderful products and build your wellness home. Start anywhere you want, um, but you'll end up wanting it all because all the pieces fit together. So for more information, contact the person who invited you to this program and also take our wonderful little quiz. You'll get a response back in your email that tells you, what's the next step to upgrade your health. It's a fun quiz and it can be illuminating. So
Fantastic.
that's
Thank you
the
so
end of
much.
it.
Before we wrap up this recording, I've got a few questions that I would love for you to answer for me and for everyone that's listening. So if you don't mind, I'm going to
Sure.
ask you that. So,
Love
first
questions.
of all, talk about age parameters because I mean, I've heard of stories of kids, I've heard of stories of people at all different ages that have, what you described of having gut issues of some kind. So, is there an age parameter?
Um, Not really, no. I mean, it's the earlier the better to get your kids gut working well. And so many kids do get antibiotics early on that it's critical
Hmm.
to reintroduce healthy bacteria after an antibiotic treatment.
Hmm.
And then as we age and go through different stages of life, stresses change, diets change, so it like I said, it can change so fast. If you start having anything that's irregular or uncomfortable, just think about your gut. And first of all, chew your food, digest it. And I didn't even mention our wonderful digestion enzymes. That gets it all started properly in the stomach. And then go down and let the microbes do their work. But as at any age, we can, because they grow so fast, we can
Hmm.
readjust our gut at any age. And a lot of people, especially if you're are getting more sedentary and you're worried about losing muscle, this particular one can be great to
Hmm.
help the body remember, like, oh yeah, you should be pulling stored
Hmm. Hmm.
energy out of the fat cells. Is that helpful? I hope.
Yeah, yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, I heard Dr. Karen say that, you might want to, well, you think about the fact that if the dosage is based on a 150-pound adult, then you can adjust the quantity. So if it's a child, maybe you give them a third of a packet or a half of a packet, depending on their size. So something like
Yeah,
that.
that's a very good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it, and yeah, going by size and
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
uh I
So
always
how
say
would,
that what you
yeah,
eat, this is about the size of your stomach.
okay,
The size of my stomach.
okay.
But a guy who's 200 pounds, his stomach would be a little bigger, but you
Right.
don't want to stretch it. You just want to give it what it needs so that it can manage to
Hmm.
produce the
Hmm.
enzymes.
Hmm. I know that even before I realized that this would be a benefit, being one of the beta testers, I could tell a difference in my weight reduction journey, that it has been far easier. I could tell a difference the first 2 months of the year when I was doing some meal replacement and being more, intentional. I was getting good results. And as soon as I added in the golden gut, it all of a sudden it felt easier. My weight, the weight reduction was speeding up. It seemed like it was more forgiving because I'm not on a diet. So there were days where maybe I ate more than, sugar or carbs than what would be the best recommendation. Not a perfect diet, a good diet. And I mean, as far as what I'm eating, and I could tell a difference. So I love that this is going to be a byproduct, that there's so many benefits to taking this product. I've heard some folks say that they're increased energy. And of course, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not the nutritional expert that you are, but if there's so much going on, if you're having so much difficulty digesting food, it makes sense it would affect your energy, what energy you have left over. Um,
Definitely. The brain uses more energy than any other organ. And when people reach for, a fast food kind of snack, it's because their energy is dipped.
mhm,
So if you can normalize your gut so that the right things are getting into your blood and to your brain, we just start really learning more and more and more about the gut brain connection and what a difference it makes just having the balance of microbes that
mhm,
are finishing the job so that the right hormones and proteins and enzymes get where they need to go,
mhm,
particularly
mhm.
the neurotransmitters that keep us balanced mood.
Yeah, it makes sense that you'd have more energy, more clarity. So I love that there's so much synergy in, the fact that that slide that shows the whole supplement line that we have and how but they cross over and how they, work so much synergistically. Um, that's remarkable. And I think that's why I'm seeing the results. I was already doing a lot of good things and adding this
Right.
more. It's awesome. I have so much, one more question. I have so much, trust and faith in Nikken because I know that as long as they've been around 50 years, that their integrity of their ingredients, the sourcing, they never falter. It's always the very, very best that can be obtained. So I go in knowing that it's going to be a great product because of that. Can you speak though, because I'm sure there's lots of other gut products out there. How does this product compare to others that are out there?
Well, it's quite interesting. It's really cutting edge because they can actually find out what particular strains produce, and they can look at their genome and tell which genes produce which proteins. And so this particular protein I mentioned, the irisin, is produced by the TCI, and it has this beneficial effect of just it actually turns off an enzyme that keeps muscles from breaking down fat.
Mm. Oh, wow.
So it's a double negative thing. So they're getting into that much detail so that if somebody's feeling like, that they're they don't have the strength or the clarity that they want, then they can focus on this particular strain. It's amazing. But I'm most excited about actually giving the soluble fiber that the microbes need because the brain is so intelligent. And so if it doesn't like something, it will, if you're eating well, it will encourage the beneficial ones at the expense of the bad ones. Like so many people do have, everybody has a little bit of yeast there, but you want to keep it in abeyance with the good bacteria. So this one really focuses on the pro and the pre and the post. And there are very few out there that are actually
Mm-hmm.
doing that. And Nikken keeps its prices really reasonable,
Hmm. Hmm.
even
Yeah, I
though,
love that.
and there's no GMO, which is important because they are starting to try to manipulate the genes of microbes just for a specific purpose
Hmm.
rather than working with this strain. And that's one of the things I liked about this, that the strain they're using has been eaten for centuries, basically, in the Indonesian diet, in their tempeh product. So
Okay.
it's it's not new to the body, which is important in
Hmm.
from my point of view.
So in layman's terms, because I'm a layman when it comes to all this, it sounds like it's a smart gut product that they've put the research to make it this targeted, and so it's smarter. It's an intelligent supplement that
Yeah, it's a really good
attacks.
way to put it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, that they're working with the body, and that's just so cool.
So there
So
you had it.
and
If you
and
want a
Nathan,
smarter gut, you want to get on the golden gut.
there you go.
There's a
Yes,
new tagline for it.
it's
Well,
golden,
thank you
and
so
we're in our
much.
golden anniversary, so it
That's
really
right. That's
fits.
right.
It
It's awesome.
fits.
50 years. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise. This has been awesome. I will add on that Nikken has done a great job. So if you're listening to this and you're not able to access this, ask the person that invited you because there's fact sheets, there's, frequently asked questions, there's brochures, there's more technical stuff that is available if you want to revisit this information so that you know why you want to have a smarter gut. Thank you
Yes, and we're going to celebrate the introduction shortly.
very soon.
And so, yeah, if you know someone who's having a party to celebrate, go learn all about it.
Be there. Thanks so much again.
Thank you, Sherry. You do a great job with these brand nights. It's fabulous.
Thank you.